friends, welcome back to Boyle Family Farm. I have several projects going on today, a couple things out in the cottage garden that I want to get done this morning before the rain comes later. I'm getting some super nice blue skies, no rain right now, so I'm going to take full advantage of that. I'm going to start off with transplanting some of my cold hardy plants out into my first garden beds this year. Super excited about that. I'm doing some kale, some spinach, and some broccoli. We do have some cold nights coming up. I think 33 is going to be the lowest for this coming week, which is pretty chilly, but for these particular plants, I'm okay. I think I also have cabbage that I'm going to do in there also. So they should be okay. I'm not sticking any of my flowers out here yet. I'm not bringing any other plants out. And I'm making sure to hold off on my warmer crop plants until after probably after the beginning of May, till the soil really warms up. So right now I feel okay about these ones, and if not, if they don't do so well, I have some backup. So hopefully they'll be okay, which I think they will, but in the event that I have to redo them, I do have some backups that I started a little bit later in the greenhouse that I can then plant out to replace them afterwards if I need to. But I think I'll be okay. So that is what we're starting with today, doing some transplanting into the garden beds outside. And then I have some flower seeds that I'm going to start inside. I'm going to do them in the greenhouse. I'm probably going to take them up into the house overnight and then have them in the greenhouse during the day when it really warms up in there. And the last thing I'll try to get done, if I have enough time before the rain starts, is laying down some more cardboard and filling in some more of the beds. I started filling in the triangle bed with my roses and lavender with cardboard, so I'm going to finish that up and fill it with a layer of compost. And if, depending on time, I'll work on some of the other beds. But that is it. That's the plan for today. So just a busy day in the garden and taking advantage of no rain for a little while. So let's get started. All right, so I have some lettuce here that's going to go into the first smaller garden bed right here on the end. I transplanted this out. I'll link the video here, but it's been probably about 3 weeks now or so since I've transplanted this into the bigger pots from the milk jugs that I had started several months back. This is looking super good. I have a couple more that I transplanted last week that aren't quite ready to be transplanted out into the garden yet because the roots aren't well established in the pots that I have potted them into. So I'm going to hold off on those, but I do have a couple good ones like this that are ready to go in there, so I'll get those in there first.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within.
All right, so next up I have some kale. This is also ones that I had potted about 3 weeks ago or so. They are looking super strong. I've been picking off the side leaves to encourage the middle ones to grow, but I think getting them out here will give them more room to do that. I have about 9 of them to transplant today, so I'm gonna do 3 in 2 rows. No, 3 in 3 rows. 3 times 3 is 9. And then I have some other ones inside that I will bring out in a couple more weeks and keep adding to that bed. So the whole bed will be kale, and that's going to be the second bed down on this side of the arbor.
Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes. Undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all. A bigger scale, the world inhales as we go. I wouldn't want it any other way, no. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes. Undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes. Undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all.
All right, so next I have some spinach going into the third bed. I have several ready to go out into the garden, and then I have several inside that aren't quite ready, but they should be within the next couple weeks. We do go through a lot of spinach. I really like spinach in eggs and in green smoothies. So I use probably about at least like 2 to 3 cups in one smoothie. So we do go through a lot of spinach, which is why I planted a ton. But these are ready to go out. You can see all the new leaves coming in. I've been doing the same thing as with the kale. I've been pulling out the side ones. So these ones that are coming in are super green. They are growing really strong, and I think they're gonna do really well out here. So in a couple weeks, I'll do a few more and kind of just keep going through spinach as the spring progresses. Spinach doesn't do well in the summer in a lot of heat, so I'll do some now, and then I'll plan on doing some in the fall also. Alright, so I have lettuce, I have spinach, and I have kale out in the garden now. I'm going to do broccoli, but I need to top the garden beds with some more soil or compost for the ones that they're going to go into. So I'm not doing that right now. I'm going to go in the greenhouse and start some seeds. I'm going to start some flower seeds, and then I'm also going to start some other vegetable seeds. Probably some more kale, some more spinach, some more lettuce, and some more broccoli. I had ordered some of the little pots, and they ended up being a lot smaller than what I thought they were going to be. I clearly did not look at the measurements very well, but those will actually be pretty perfect for starting some of those veggies in. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then if I have enough time, if it's still not raining afterwards, I will top this garden bed over here with some soil and compost, and I will get my broccoli transplanted into that one. Alright, so I had to take a break, go inside, feed the kids, But I am back out in the greenhouse. I'm going to do some seeds. I'm going to do some flower seeds in a tray that I have, and then I'm going to do the veggies in these cute little pots right here. So I thought I was buying quite a bit bigger to pot some of the seeds that I have, but they ended up being a little bit smaller than what I thought they were going to be. But I think they'll be perfect. I'll go ahead and start them in here, and then I think I'll probably, by the time they're ready to be potted, they'll probably actually just be ready to go ahead and go out into the garden. It'll be warm enough, and I think they'll have enough room in here to grow big enough to get ready to go out there. So we'll try it, see how it goes, and that is that. All right, let's get to it. All right, so it got pretty warm here in the greenhouse, but what I'm doing first is I'm just going through and labeling them, just a general short for whatever veggie it's going to end up being. I am not too worried about keeping super extensive track of the specific variety, and that's only because I am mostly just growing these for our own consumption, for our own backyard garden right now. If I was planning, or when I go to plan to sell them, either as starts or whole veggies, then I will make sure to keep better track of the specific varieties, because most customers like to know that, and obviously you don't want to sell a random plant that you don't know what it is exactly. So that's my plan for right now. I know it's going to go into the garden. I know we're just going to eat it when we eat it, so it's not even that big of a deal for us what specific variety. We know what we like, and I know what I'm planting in general. So that is that. I have spinach. I'm doing 8 more spinaches, and then I'll probably in another couple weeks I'll start another round, just so we have that ongoing production for as long as possible. Spinach won't go through the entire summer, obviously, but at least we'll have a good steady growth as the spring progresses. Then I'll probably end up doing at least 9 more kale, and then for right now I'll do 3 more lettuce, and I'll get those started, and in another couple weeks I'll do another round of those also. But it is mighty hot in here. It's so crazy how different it is, because you walk outside, it's super windy, it's super cold, but in here it's like 100 degrees. So I should probably get some of these plants out of here to give them some cooler weather, but or some cooler air. But what I should actually do is bring in the pepper and tomato starts that I have in the house out here, because this is the kind of warmth that they need. And actually I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back with some seeds and finish getting these started. friends, so I got my veggies started. I actually ended up starting some kale, spinach, lettuce, cabbage, broccoli, carrots, and onions. So I did start more than what I had originally planned, but more is always better. And then I also started some flowers. I started a tray of a whole variety of flowers. I did some let's see, I have some zinnias, I have some gombrina, some status, some celosia, and then some marigold and nasturtium, I think, and I think a couple others that I'm forgetting. But either way, those are all started, and I'm going to actually take those inside so that they can stay warmer, because it does still get cold even out here in the greenhouse overnight. And Mike is getting some topsoil put in on one of the garden beds so I can go out and plant the broccoli that I had set up there earlier. So I'll get a few broccoli put in, and then I'll try and do another start of broccoli every week or so. So we have that ongoing supply throughout the spring and the summer. And then that'll probably be it for today as far as garden work. Like I said, I always plan to do a whole lot more than what I probably have time for, but it is what it is. I did want to touch on seed starting, and I was thinking probably a lot later than most people, or at least people that you'd probably see on Instagram or YouTube or whatnot. But really, how I look at it is, one, I am not doing a huge supply this year for for selling or going to market. So I am not on any specific time frame. A lot of the people that you are going to watch on YouTube or Instagram have a purpose for needing to start that many flowers this early. I'm not in that situation. The other thing is that it's a whole season, so it's not just kind of like one and done. You're going to start seeds and try and get them in as soon as possible, because really the sooner you get it done, the longer your season is, but it's still a whole season ahead. So if you don't get your seeds started 4 weeks before your last frost, that doesn't mean you don't have time to still do it. Like, you're not out of time at that point, and most people end up doing seeds throughout the season anyway, just to have that ongoing supply also. So there's no perfect time, there's no right time to do it for everybody. It really depends on your situation and what your goals and plans are for the season. So just keep that in mind. If you see other people having, seeds started like a month ago and plants already looking super tall and super big, it's probably pretty specific to their situation. So no worries, and start when it's right for you, for your purpose. So that's it for today. I'm going to go ahead and help Micah get the topsoil put in on the garden bed, and I'm going to get the broccoli planted and probably call it a day out here in the garden. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the farm next time. Micah is getting some topsoil put in on the... He's breaking stuff, but it's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything is fine. What was I saying? Okay.